Hey, what's up everyone? I'm Tiffany and it is Weight Loss Wednesday, so let's talk about week 6. Welcome to Midlife Mama. I'm Tiffany, and on this channel I hope you will find hope, inspiration, encouragement, and practical tips on mommyhood and self-care after 40. If you're new here, consider subscribing, joining the YouTube family, and coming along for the ride. If you're already a subscriber, thank you so much for being here and for rocking and rolling with the channel. I appreciate the support, so welcome back. In today's video, it's Weight Loss Wednesday, and I'll be talking about how week 6 on Weight Watchers went. Week 6 was a little bit different, so yeah, let's get into this. Week 6 started off pretty good, and I was tracking because as you know, week 5 did not go as planned, and I didn't lose any weight at all last week. So I was determined to get this week off to a good start, and that happened. But then there was a strange thing that happened to me when I was at work on Monday. I started to feel some pressure in my chest, and it didn't last very long enough for me to think, okay, what is that? I just thought that I was overdoing it at work. So I took a little bit of a 5-minute break, and by the time I was done with that break, the pressure had subsided and I was able to continue working. I also took my walk that day. Tuesday and Wednesday, again, took the walk. Wednesday, took the walk, and no pressure, none of that. Everything was fine. And Thursday was my day off. So I woke up Thursday with a lot of plans. I was planning to film some videos and things like that. And so Thursday started off pretty normal. But then after I got Nevaeh dressed and took down her braids because it's going to be wash day for her, I sat down on my bed to answer an email, and I started to feel that same pressure in my chest again. So I immediately thought, okay, well, this is the second time. I better call someone and I better get myself to an emergency room. So I called my mom. I got dressed and I packed a whole bunch of stuff for Nevaeh. I usually keep a bag for emergencies. I keep a bag packed for her. It's got everything that I would need for her within the span of a 4-hour span. So I have that bag packed for her, but I also threw a few things into my bag for her. I grabbed all of my chargers for my phone, and I called my mom and told her that I needed to go to the emergency room. She came home right away, and we headed off to the emergency room. By the time she got home, though, the pressure in my chest had subsided. So I get to the emergency room, and it takes them no time at all to get me to the back. When I said I had chest pains, straight to the back, and I'm hooked up to monitors in a matter of minutes. I'm hooked up to monitors, and I've had a chest x-ray, I've had an EKG, and hours later, I'm trying to condense this because it is a Weight Loss Wednesday update, so I'm trying to condense it. But hours later, I am told that I look okay. My EKG is normal, but there's something off in my blood work. My troponin level, the first time they took my blood, was normal, but the second time they took my blood, the troponin level had risen. So I was told at that time that I was going to need to make arrangements for my daughter because I was going to need to stay overnight, and I was going to be admitted to the hospital. I was in a satellite emergency room for Dignity Health, and they transferred me over to the nearest Dignity Health St. Rose Hospital, and I ended up staying there. The first doctor I saw told me that my troponin levels, a normal level for troponin is 0.003, and my troponin levels were at a 4.5, which indicated that there had been some damage to my heart, and that it could indicate some heart disease, but that I had a heart attack. That's what he said the first time. That he didn't say heart attack. He said that there had been an attack on my heart. And I'm thinking, okay, so what's the difference? An attack on my heart is a heart attack, right? So anyway, he tried to keep me calm. He said he listened to my lungs. He said my lungs sounded good. All of my other blood work looked okay. My EKG was normal, but I was hooked up to a heart monitor, was given an IV, and they put me on a blood thinner through IV as well. And he said, you're going to have to stay overnight. I want to see if your troponin levels come down. And if they do not, then we're going to have to go in and do a heart cath to take a look at your heart to see what's going on. So the next day, so I ended up staying, and the next day the cardiologist came in to see me, and he said, we're doing a heart cath. So that he did that. So my troponin levels apparently had not dropped. They must have continued to rise. They were trending up, because the third time they checked my troponin levels, it had gone from 4.5 to 4.8. And I don't want to sort of get into medical terminology and make this a confusing video. Just the enzyme in your heart that is released into your bloodstream when there is damage or trauma to your heart is called troponin. And a normal level for that is 0.003. At this point, at the third time they checked it, my levels were 0.48. So it was trending up. And so I ended up having to stay overnight. And the next day he came in to see me. He said, we're going to do the heart cath. So that said to me, I said, okay, well, he told me that if it dropped, I would just need to do a stress test. He said, no, we're going to do a heart cath, and we're going to go in and see what's wrong. And if there's something that we need to fix, we'll fix it right away. So then he tells me it's going to happen in the afternoon, and this is, 9 o'clock in the morning. So I'm not giving anything to eat. I just have an IV drip. I'm not giving anything to eat. I did have dinner on Thursday night, but I couldn't eat anything after midnight. So I went all day Friday until dinner time without any food. And I had my heart cath. That happened at about 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And that experience is where they went in through my wrist. So you can see the Band-Aid on my wrist. They went in through my wrist through that artery and in to look at my heart. And the good news is that they found no blockages. They didn't need to put in any stents or anything. And there also was no evidence of heart disease, but there had clearly been some trauma to my heart. And at the end of all of this, what caused the incident was that my blood pressure was sky high. It was through the roof. When I got to emergency on Thursday, it was in the 187s. When I got into the ambulance to be transferred to the hospital, it was in the 190s. And they were able to bring it down to the 160s. It hovered around the 160s most of the time that I was in the hospital, up until the time where I had the heart cath. And then after that, it started to come down even further. I think that had something to do with the fact that I was terrified and stressed out and scared and nervous and anxious, and all of the things that go through, the emotions that go through you when you're having a health scare or a health crisis. I was feeling all of that. And on top of that, I'm worried about my baby. This is the first time I've had to spend a single night away from her. And I ended up having to do that while laying in a hospital bed, worried about whether or not my heart was going to be okay. And okay. So the good news is that I'm going to be fine. I do have to watch my blood pressure. I'm going to be okay. I have to watch my blood pressure. My medication was changed, and I am able to continue this weight loss journey. In fact, they recommend it. And I will be able to start my workout program again. I need to ease into that, so I will be able to do that. I was given a week off work, and my blood pressure by the time I left the hospital was in the 140s. And all of my other levels are fine. I'm not anywhere near being a diabetic. My cholesterol is low. It's all good, except they did find that my THS was low and that my thyroid is a little bit overactive, but that's another issue that I'll have to deal with here soon. But the good news is I'm home with my baby again, and gosh, Weight Watchers sort of went out the window for week 6 because of what happened. So weight loss for week 6 is 6 pounds. I don't think that it's a true weight loss because I did go about a day and a half with no food at all. And I have been eating, but I've been eating, and I have been, since I got home, I have been following both the DASH diet, and I will do a video and give you guys more information on what the DASH diet is. But I'm doing the DASH diet in conjunction with Weight Watchers to help bring my weight down. And that's where we are right now. The new medication is taking effect. I'm home now, and what I'm feeling now is I do feel sometimes lightheaded. I do sometimes feel a tightness in my chest that comes and goes. And I have follow-up appointments with a cardiologist and with my regular doctor. Going forward, I have to be very careful about my blood pressure because that is what caused the chest pains, the pressure in my chest. And that pressure, it's sort of just, it's so you know what to look for if this ever happens to you. It radiated to my back and up under my arms and up under the breast area. I didn't have any shooting pains down the sides of my arms, but I did have back pain and I did have gas. And so that is what it felt like. It just felt like someone had took a fist and just pushed it like right in the center of my chest and just left the fist there and was just pushing down on it. That's what it felt like. And so if you have hypertension, be diligent about checking your pressure at home, tracking your pressure at home. You don't have to check your pressure more than once a day. Just get somewhere, sit still, and check your pressure. Take your medicine faithfully. Don't skip dosages. Don't miss dosages. And regular visits to your doctor to make sure that you're doing okay so that you don't have to end up in the hospital with chest pains or your blood pressure gets so high that you have a stroke. If I had ignored it and waited any longer than I did, it could have been so much worse for me. But because I acted fast and I had good doctors and good care with Dignity Health, and that's another thing, you guys, I recommend St. Rose Dominican Hospitals and Dignity Health because this is the same hospital where I had Nevaeh. Her pediatrician is also a Dignity Health doctor, and I am so impressed with the level of care that happens. Definitely recommend them if they're a hospital of choice for you, for your insurance. Definitely recommend them. I had such good care. The entire staff was nice, and the doctors were thorough. They would not let me go anywhere until they knew exactly what was going on and exactly how I could prevent something like that from happening in the future. So recommend Dignity Health. So there you have it. That's it, you guys. There was a health scare. So Weight Watchers week 6 sort of went out the window. There was a 6-pound weight loss, but I don't know how true or accurate that is because of what happened. So in total, I've I'm 17 pounds down, but that could change next week. We'll see. Yeah. Subscribe if you have not done that already, if you want to continue to follow this weight loss journey. Catch up with me on Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, and Twitter. Let me know how you're doing, how you're taking care of yourself in the comments below. And I will see you guys in the next update. Thank you for watching. Take care of yourself. Bye.